Hello.
Hello. Hi.
So, the wrong end of the stick. Okay, of course, when did you get the idea of the film?
I've been thinking about how to answer this question.
I think, sure.
I have a very strange fascination with a lot of different internet culture. And I read a lot of very weird stories about just because everyone just writes very openly. So you read all sorts of very personal things that people are going through, really sexy things, really horrible things, but really funny things. And in this film, there's the sort of, when he goes to try his kind of luck in finding people that he can belong with, when he goes to the furry party to be part of the furry community. So that's like another big internet kind of culture that's come out. Well, it's been around for yonks, but I'm just really weird, and I love reading really odd things about people. So this film, it came from quite a few different ideas, and we, the writer Chris and I, sort of picked through all of these different ideas, and just lots of different things, and we just tried to crowbar it into this one film. It could have been maybe twice as long, the amount of things that we wanted to put in. And working with people who are maybe equally as strange as me.
What is interesting is it's not only the story, I mean, you really you do some really strange, well, not strange, some shots that I really, describe exactly what the guy's doing, and
Yep.
we see everything. At one point, there's people in the school. I mean, for me, National Film Television School was really this straight school. Maybe a little bit crazy, but really straight narrative school.
It's kind of like every year there's a really odd film that comes out. I remember a couple of years ago, Pineapple Calamari was the oddest film,
Yeah.
but it's like my favorite from that year. And I think every year there's a very weird film that comes out of it.
How did you work the storyboard? Because, I mean, again, that's really well done. That's really well the director, and the directing is not, well, it's really great. So it took a long time to do the animatic and the storyboard.
Well, it was a bit complicated because we had, first of all, we did the script and kind of worked through the story arcs, and then sort of started storyboarding alongside that. But we also had the live action set build. So we were writing, storyboarding, and the production designer was designing the set. And we at some point, we had to decide what the set was going to be and then lock that idea. And then that meant that there were certain constraints on the story and on the camera angles, the rooms. We had crazy ideas. We would go into the meetings with the departments to see what we could get away with. And I remember we sat down, we had this model of a set, and within 30 seconds they said no. it's too big, it'll be impossible to make. So there was a lot of, alongside the storyboarding, designing the set had to be modular as well, so we could change the set around and add more locations to the story. So it all had to happen together.
So in NFTS, you have an idea, you go to a department who help you to develop the idea, and
it's kind of, you have to have you have to be given the go-ahead so that the school knows that you will finish. And it's not a completely impossible idea.
What about the couple? Why the hero is a man and not the other way around? Because at the end, it's always, the man was a little bit crazy, and the woman say, "Okay, you can do it." It's
because I feel
understand.
like you can make more fun of a male character. I don't know. It feels like I think also because it's very kind of British film. and if you think, it's really hard to explain, it just felt good to do that. And I think there's just kind of the general idea that, oh God, the wife has to put up with her husband being really irritating, and you know, that's just how it came. That's just how it happened.
Because that's in Alan Experiment, was another film. Funny. That's also the same thing. At the end, the woman said, "Okay, you can be a little bit crazy. I can understand you." That's why I was asking that.
I think English ladies put up with a lot. I don't know.
Even in his face, it's little mouth and everything. It looks a little bit like a dog. It was it was intentional, of course,
Yes.
of course. But did you want to do it like we could feel like there is something before when we arrive? There is a story before, and it's like becoming his transformation before the film in itself.
The thing that was really difficult, and we went through quite a few versions of the story to get up to the point where he goes and he walks in on the orgy and goes and like scampers home and wants to go back with his wife. There was the real danger that it would be misinterpreted so badly that everyone would think that he wanted to have sex with dogs, and that was it. And so if he had something about him where you can start unpicking the story and watching him and his looking like his dog freckles and his like licking, that sort of helped the audience to kind of be more accepting of him as well. Otherwise he just was this insane pervert that nobody could attach to. So yes, we had to. I don't think it would have worked if we hadn't done that.
Do you have any question? I'm sure you have. Maybe you won't. Yes. Une question. A question.
Pareil en français du coup. Je voulais savoir si dans l'histoire il y a un sens au fait que les personnages soient faits en 2D vraiment à plat, avec peu de volume, et que ce soit tourné justement dans des décors réels comme ça a été dit. Est-ce qu'il y a un sens ou c'était juste un parti pris esthétique?
I wanted to make a really ambitious film, and I'd never directed live action before, so it was my sneaky way of doing two films in one. But it was also, the reason was because I wanted to create a world that was more than real, and you could, with these live action backgrounds, you recognize the spaces and the awkward atmosphere of the couple's house, the atmosphere of the party, and but also using the 2D characters, using 2D animation, so that you could have more empathy for the characters and you could attach to them more. I think it would have been very, very different if, say, everything was live action. I don't think you would be able to have that same attachment and that same feeling, and have the lovely warm fuzzy feeling at the end. I think, yeah. And
for the background, of course, and the character, you have also the fact that is the blur between reality and fantasy, and it's working well with this live action 2D technique, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, with say if it was live action again, I think it would be somehow you would understand it less. You wouldn't understand his fantasy as well than it having been animated.
So when we do that kind of film, the Crimson Wave also, I've seen that. It's how do we do after that? I mean, you go to studios and say, look, I've done that film, give me some job, and in England it's perfect because you will have a lot of them, or it's kind of difficult?
It's hard to say. I would love to make maybe another short film. I would love to make some kind of TV series, because in Britain or England, there's really kind of no adult cartoons, no adult animation television series at the moment. I mean, I took a lot of inspiration from Monkey Dust, which is, do you know Monkey Dust? No? Okay, it's from around 2003, British animated TV series, but very dark comedy, like really dark. And I just feel kind of that there's something missing, but then at the same time it's difficult to know if there's the audience for it in that country. So it might be a case of kind of looking abroad, or kind of something like Netflix or Adult Swim or something like that that would pick up something. I would just love to creep people out once a week. I think that'd be quite cool.
Can't wait to see that, to see a TV series made by you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
you.